Hello and welcome back, Shrike here with another D&D video. Today I'm going to be introducing you to some people who live stream their Dungeons & Dragons games that you should be watching. Last week I did a video about D&D YouTubers that you should be watching that will come up in the card up here if you want to watch that, or I'll put a link down in the description below. And that video did quite well, sparking quite a bit of conversation around people's favourite YouTubers, so I thought I would do a video about live streams. Now it is likely I'm probably going to miss out a live stream that you watch and that you love, so if I do, put down in the comments who they are and where I can find them, and I'll go and have a look at them. Before we get on with the rest of the video, I upload D&D content here on YouTube every Monday and Thursday, so make sure to hit the subscribe button and then tap the notification bell next to it so you can see all the content I'm making. I thought it was only fitting to start with the biggest and probably the most known D&D live stream, which is Critical Role. As of recording this, the first episode of the first season of Critical Role has over 13 million views. Let's just pause a second. 13 million people have clicked on that video and watched a bunch of nerds play the game that we love. Isn't that awesome? So why have they found so much success, and why should you watch them now? They do have a unique advantage that every single one of them are actors, which means when there's something like a roleplay scene, it's much more emotional and you as the viewer can get much more invested. Matthew Mercer, who is the Dungeon Master, is also an absolute master of doing different voices and embodying the NPCs, so it is so easy to get engrossed in the story that he's telling. Couple the fact that they're actors and the map puts crazy effort into the game and is an amazing Dungeon Master, with the fact that they're a bunch of friends just playing around a table makes it really easy watching. They're currently on season 2 of Critical Role, and if you're newly going to start watching them, I would suggest just starting at the beginning of season 2 rather than going all the way back to the start of season 1. Season 1 was great, don't get me wrong, but the start of season 2, the production is just much better, everyone is much more comfortable in playing in front of the cameras, and it's just much easier to start watching from then. But if you do want to start right from the beginning, then go ahead, I'm sure you will still have a great time. I should say that Season 1 and Season 2 aren't linked from a story aspect. There's a few Easter eggs in Season 2 about Season 1, but you don't have to have watched the first season to understand what's going on in the second season. One criticism, if you want to call it that, about Critical Role is that it's a bit too perfect, so you're never really going to be able to replicate that at your home game. Well, I guess you could if you have actor friends who are really into D&D and get really invested. But most people don't have that, which leads me on to the second live stream I'm going to show you, which is High Rollers. Now, opposed to Critical Role, these feel like just a group of friends who have just turned the cameras on and you're just watching into their game. And because of that, it feels like a game that you could run yourself and you could have a similar style game to the one that you're watching on High Rollers. One great thing about High Rollers is that the Dungeon Master, who's Mark Holmes, also has his own YouTube channel where he talks about DMing. And that's really great because you can go and watch his YouTube videos to go and get tips, and then go watch High Rollers and see him actually implementing what he's talking about over on his YouTube channel. So as a Dungeon Master, it's really good, valuable resource. High Rollers is in a similar position to Critical Role where there's 2 seasons, and once again I would suggest just start from the second season because it was much more better from production value and everyone had gelled, and it's just a better experience watching it. Season 2 of High Rollers also does have a bit of a sci-fi element that's been added into it, so if you're into that then you'll definitely love High Rollers. Another good thing about High Rollers is that Mark the DM has put some of his own rules into the game, so if you are someone who loves to homebrew a rule, go and watch them and you can get a bit of inspiration and an idea of how other people do it. One in particular is all around injury checks, so in their game you can lose an eye, you can break some ribs or something like that, and it actually has an impact on the game. Now with both Critical Role and High Rollers, they're around a table and they have cameras which are watching them play, but this next one they're all playing online, and that's Dice Camera Action. Dice Camera Action is dungeon mastered by Chris Perkins, who's a senior developer on Dungeons & Dragons, and all of the players are internet personalities. Throughout the campaign they're playing official D&D modules, so if you're looking to play one of the books, it's really great as a DM to go and see one of the senior developers at Dungeons & Dragons play it themselves. And while we're talking about Chris Perkins, I just want to say how amazing he is at dungeon mastering. Before him I'd only watched Critical Role and I thought that Matthew Mercer was the pinnacle of dungeon masters, but really Chris Perkins definitely takes that throne for me. The way that he can easily pace a game and weave story elements into other story elements is amazing, and he's a complete inspiration for all of us DMs out there. Now, something you do need to know about Dice Camera Action is that it does come to a bit of an abrupt halt at the end because one of the players had a bit of an issue in their personal life, which meant that they couldn't continue with with dice camera action. So there's not really the big payoff at the end, and it does just sort of stop, but up until that point it is an amazing show, so go and watch it. The next live stream I'm going to introduce you to is Arcane Arcade. In the last video about the D&D YouTubers you should follow, we spoke about Jacob from XP to level 3 and Logan the Runesmith. This is their live stream that they play with their friends. And that's one big reason that you should watch it, because they really are just a group of friends who have turned the camera on and you can imagine yourself sat at a table playing with them. They've also made quite a lot of different content, so they also play through some of the official D&D modules like Curse of Strahd, and at the moment they're going through Ghosts of Saltmarsh. But they do also have their homebrew campaigns. They have Sunder, which is DM'd by Jacob, and then they also have one called Tesseract, which is DM'd by the Runesmith Logan. So if you want to go and watch the official modules, you can do that, or if you want to see how someone's homebrews their own game, you can also do that. Similar to what I said about Mark from High Rollers, it's really good to go and watch their YouTube channels where they're giving you advice and then actually see them implement it in their games. And the last live stream that I want to introduce you to is called Save or Dice. Put together by Cody from Taken 20, it's where a group of D&D YouTubers come together and they play games. So if you're a fan of D&D YouTubers, it's possible that over on Save or Dice they're playing in a campaign. They haven't actually uploaded a new video in about 8 months, so I'm not really sure what's going on there, but there's still a lot of content before that you can go and watch. They also have one campaign in particular where they play Starfinder, so if you're into sci-fi and other stuff than Dungeons and Dragons, you can go and watch that there as well. I feel like I've said it a few times now, but I'm going to say it again, it's really good to be able to see what they're talking about on their YouTube channel and then see them actually play. Throughout the campaigns they also rotate the Dungeon Masters, so it's good to see how each of them Dungeon Master and their own different styles. They also utilise Roll20 on most of their campaigns, so if you use that, you can go over there and see how other people are using it. So there you have it, there's 5 new live streams for you to go and check out. If you've been introduced to a live stream you didn't know about before, make sure to give this video a like, and if there's any I missed out, go down in the comments and put them there. I'd also really appreciate it if you did subscribe. I upload D&D content every Monday and every Thursday, so if you're a lover of D&D content, hit that subscribe button. But until next time, happy gaming.